Hi guys, it's Lynn Padetti here again and welcome to Outsourcing Angel. In this video, I'd like to help answer a question from one of our audience. The question goes, as far as questions go, I'm looking for an understanding of how to hire and manage a developer who's better at development than I am. Ideally, someone who takes direction well but is able to understand when to offer recommendations and expertise to help the project. This is a great question because, it's quite challenging trying to find a great developer who's also great at communicating. I think you'll find that when you are working with developers, they tend to have this personality where they don't communicate as well as other types of VAs, and this could be a problem for you, especially if it's affecting your project. So I'd like to help you answer this question. Okay, so I would like to share with you my 4-step process. So first of all, obviously, you need to recruit them. So try to have a very thorough job brief. You need to know exactly what are the skill sets and experiences that you want the developer to have. So how many years of experience? I would say they need at least 4 or 5 years of experience. But then again, the people who say they've got 8 years of experience doesn't necessarily mean they've spent 8 years solidly being a programmer. So don't get fooled by someone saying that they've worked for a long time as a developer. But anyway, you need to at least know that they need to be working as a developer for a long time. You need to ask them for their experience in the platforms that you're working with. So just because they're a great developer, but if you're after someone that is good in Magento platform, then you need to ask that, because if they're good at WordPress and other types of platforms, it doesn't mean that they're going to be good at Magento. So be clear about the platforms that you need them to be very familiar with, because you want them to be adding value to you from day one, not that they're trying to discover a new platform, because that's very time consuming, and you want them to be, producing income for you by being able to work on the job straight. My next step is sample work. So when you are interviewing them, or even before you interview, ask them to send you some sample work. It probably means that they're going to send you a bunch of links to their websites that they've done. But don't just look at the website and scan it through quickly and think that, oh, awesome, the website looks good. Because at the end of the day, you're looking for a developer, not a designer, so you can't really tell by looking quickly at the website. So you need to ask them thoroughly about what did they actually do on those website links that they sent you. So, because sometimes they send you a bunch of links, but they didn't actually build the whole website, or they've had a small minimal involvement with the website. So if you're wanting someone that knows how to convert PSD to HTML, to develop it from scratch to everything, so then you need to find out what is it that they did to those websites. Because if they start to tell you that, oh, I only uploaded a banner or customized the one plugin, then it's obviously not someone you're after. So by asking for sample work and digging thoroughly about what they actually worked on in those websites, you'll be able to find out more about their capability. So, assuming that you like their sample work, they've given you the indication that they've done a bunch of work that you like, and they're progressing well through the interview stage. At the end of the day, you never really know how well a developer will be until you've actually worked with them. So let them know that you are happy to hire them, but you would like to, to sort of take one day at a time and assess how they go. So you hire them and start working with them, and I would encourage you not to give them an urgent project that has high risk. For example, if a project's really urgent, the client's very fussy, or the project's quite big, that's not something you should be giving to the developer from day one. You should let them do small parts of a bigger project. So break it up and get them to do, a small task here and there, because you like to see how fast they do things, how well they do it, how quickly they communicate with you. It's not really just the development skill you're after, but it's someone that can complete tasks fast and understand your instructions well. So so after you hire them, give them a lot of small tasks and assess them as you go. And if you're a developer yourself, that's great, because then you can actually check the work and know, if someone's taking too long to do something, or they didn't do it right. But if you're not a developer yourself, but if you have the luxury of working with another developer, then get another developer to check the work as well. So I'm not a developer myself, so I would usually seek the help of another developer. Well, if I can see the outcome of the task they've done is what I'm after. I don't really need to know the code, but if I ask for a social media icon to be added and it's there, then I know it's done right. But if something like that takes them really long time to do, with common sense, I would, sort of question it and compare it and ask advice from another developer. So yeah, it's really important just to assess and monitor from day one how they're going. Now, to the big question about, okay, how do I actually get them to provide recommendation and be a great communicator? Well, you let them know that from day one. And if you find that they are just not that great at communicating as much as you want, but they're doing all right. Like, I mean, they're doing their work, they're communicating when they finish, but they're just not that, full-on communicating like other VAs. Well, don't actually expect them to change who they are, because most developers that I've worked with are, they do improve their communication over time. They are not that great from day one. So don't expect them to be the best, and don't be fussy to have to find that one that's got, great development skill and a great communicator. You can always train them to be better at communicating. And the other thing I do is that instead of forcing them to be this awesome, awesome developer and great at project management and communicating, I actually get them to work with our project manager. So the project manager's job is to work with the developer, make it easier for them by assigning the task into the project management tool, assigning to the developers, so the developers have a breakdown on what they need to work on, and the project manager will ask the developer how things are going and then update me. So basically, I try to embrace their strength, which is great at development, and I try to help them with their weakness, which is by putting a project manager on to work with them to help them along in the project. Okay, so as I mentioned, that if they're not too great at communicating, you can always hope that they improve. However, what happens if you actually have a developer who's really awesome at communicating and very good with his words and mouth and saying, yep, sure, I can do this and that, but you notice that the development skills or the work completed is actually not that great? Well, to be honest, I think that's even more troubling than trying to find someone that's good at communicating, because at the end of the day, it's very vital that a developer knows how to develop properly, because they can affect your project, affect the client's website. So any day, I would choose a great developer over someone that's awesome at communicating any day. So if you are in that shoe where you're thinking, okay, I've got a really great worker who's great at communicating but not great at development, I would suggest actually trying to find yourself a new developer, because a developer themselves need to have great development skills. So if you are having any trouble finding a great developer, feel free to let us know at info@outsourcingangel.com.au, because we don't just look for general VAs for clients, we actually help them find developers and people with more specialized skills. So let us know if we can do anything to help you with your requirement to find a great developer with great communication skills. Thanks, and I'll speak to you again soon.